People encounter natural wonders much more often than they realize. The main reason we don't always notice them is that we don't always know where or how to look. While bright flashes in the sky are hard to miss, only a few can lower their gaze to the ground and spot a butterfly camouflaged on a roadside leaf. In this video, we've collected some of the most amazing natural phenomena people have managed to capture on camera. Enjoy watching. This frog has truly remarkable camouflage, allowing it not only to evade predators effectively, but also to catch unsuspecting prey. This highly unusual thundercloud resembles a portal to another world. It sparks so magically that you can't help but anticipate the miracle often promised in movies. The cameraman likely didn't expect to find a chasm filled to the brim with fish in such a calm, crystal clear stream. Just look at that depth. You can't even see the bottom. In some countries, open ocean swimming with rather dangerous animals is a popular activity. Of course, such adventures are only possible under strict rules, but swimming alongside a real sperm whale must be incredibly thrilling. Bartenders come up with all sorts of ideas to turn their craft into true art. However, they need excellent knowledge of chemistry to achieve such impressive results. Methane accumulation underground can signal not only the presence of natural gas deposits, but also that animals frequently perished in the area. Construction work on such sites should be approached with extreme caution. What a cruel diver! He didn't let the little crab fulfill its dream of becoming a star. Though perhaps its wish did come true, as these clips have been seen by a large global audience. Saudi Arabia is one of many countries with an extremely warm climate, so you can imagine how surprised the locals were when hail suddenly blanketed the desert, instantly covering it with an icy sheet of frozen pellets. It's quite amusing, isn't it? It would be even better if these creatures weren't at risk of becoming someone's meal. Although hermatites of this size are rare in nature, they are still stones rich in iron. And yes, striking them can produce a spark, just like in stories about cavemen discovering fire. What happens when a mix of hydrogen sulfide and fresh water enters the ocean? The answer is before your eyes. This mixture forms a real underground lake beneath the water, complete with its own tides. A truly surreal sight. If you ever see water pouring out of electrical outlets, leave the area immediately and seek higher ground. This dangerous phenomenon usually occurs during floods or rising waters. Water passing through electrical wiring becomes charged and can be deadly if it comes into contact with humans. In Western countries, there's a holiday called St. Patrick's Day. On this day, people dress in green and celebrate with music and alcohol. But in this city, they took it up a notch by adding green dye to the river. Fortunately, it doesn't harm the ecosystem, but it certainly looks vibrant and striking. Have you ever seen clouds falling to the ground? It's highly unlikely, as many weather conditions must align for such a phenomenon to occur. However, residents of Yemen were fortunate enough to witness this extraordinary event. It's curious to ponder what could have caused these round holes in the clouds. It's as if a giant poked their fingers through the celestial canvas. This boat operator was so captivated by the snow cascading off the glacier that he didn't immediately react to the danger threatening him. Thankfully, he was unharmed, but he should be more cautious in the future. Despite the common stereotype that deserts never see rain, here's proof of the contrary. This time, hail swept across the sandy dunes. Fortunately, no one lives there, so there were no casualties. A spider capable of weaving such a web can rightfully consider itself a natural-born weaver. It's intriguing to imagine how it accomplished this. This cameraman managed to capture the moment when a skyward funnel touched the ground just a few meters away. Most people in his place would have sought shelter, but his bravery is truly commendable. This phenomenon is known as a witch's well, formed in areas with high pressure from underground water. It looks truly magical. Nature clearly outdid itself with this pineapple, making it grow in every possible direction. Watching this video might make you question who the real fisherman is and who's the prey. Are these flying saucers? Not at all, just clouds playing a prank on UFO enthusiasts.
Are they clouds or are they UFO? UFO maybe, huh?
When strong winds blow over the edge of a cliff where a waterfall cascades, you might witness a natural illusion like this. It seems as though the water flows upward, but it's just the spray. Lots of spray to be precise. Nevertheless, the sight is quite surreal. This volcanic eruption in Iceland will long be remembered by locals, not only for its rapid lava flow, but also for its awe-inspiring and destructive beauty. This must be what a true Song of Ice and Fire looks like. Don't worry, this isn't a sudden geyser erupting in the city, it's just a ruptured central water pipe. As a result of this incident, over 100,000 people were left without water for an extended period. Perhaps city authorities should conduct better diagnostics of the water supply system. This cameraman managed to capture true natural art when an adorable sunny slime appeared in the sky. Just look at how cute it is. Whatever's happening in this video, it looks incredibly funny. If you think this is some kind of filter applied to the video, you're mistaken. This is the polluted air over Indonesia, turned blood red due to forest fires. Such a phenomenon is extremely dangerous to human life.
Percaya nggak guys? Ini siang loh. Jam 1:10.
This pink lake is often visited by flamingos of the same color, making it a popular spot for tourists and a favorite subject for artists. This is what peat looks like when it surfaces. A minimal amount of physical force can shatter such a block into thousands of fragments. Some trees use a unique natural mechanism to protect themselves from insects. They secrete a sticky, fragrant sap which hardens into resin. People use this resin for many purposes, and over time, it can even transform into the precious gemstone known as amber. Nothing unusual here, just a sea lion that decided to stand and rest for a bit. The formation of such iridescent clouds is extremely rare and requires specific weather conditions. This phenomenon is most often observed in polar regions, where the lower layers of the stratosphere maintain the right temperature. This type of mollusk is called Melibe leonina, or a nudibranch. Despite their resemblance to jellyfish, they are completely harmless to humans and feed mainly on plankton. They are particularly notable for their defense mechanism, which allows them to release a secretion with a faint watermelon scent. Once, a coal mine in India caught fire and has been burning ever since. Trapped within the coal deposits, the fire seems to have found its paradise. Unfortunately, its fury has severely damaged the area around the former mine. A landslide in the mountains almost completely destroyed a road. Only with the help of drones could people assess the full scale of the destruction. It's a humbling reminder of humanity's fragility in the face of nature's fury. It's amazing how many fish can gather in a single school. Witnessing such a fish invasion near the shore is even more astonishing. National festivals in some countries can truly surprise unprepared tourists, such as this celebration dedicated to sheep, featuring their triumphant parade through city streets. Volcanic eruptions can not only destroy homes and lives, but also create new land. For instance, this volcano formed an entire sizable island over several years of continuous lava flow. Looking at these frames, one can only hope that the man dipped his hand into paint and not spilled oil. Cloud masses drape over these mountain peaks like a silk sheet. It's a mesmerizing and beautiful sight that can hardly be fully captured on video. Those who went out to admire the northern lights that day were lucky enough to witness a historic moment, a meteor streaking through the shimmering display. Such phenomena don't happen even once a decade, making these shots a rare stroke of luck. Floodwaters reach this highway after a nearby flood. While people are generally safe if proper precautions are taken, rescuers block the flow to prevent potential consequences. These people are impressively fearless. It takes real bravery to stand so close to burning natural gas. During high tide, water easily flows through cracks in the rocks, which it carved out itself to reach areas far from the shore. Just look at the amount of silt around the edge of this crevice. Be careful when passing by such places. They can be very slippery. Don't worry, that's not a wave heading for the city. It's just an enormous cloud. Still, it does look quite intimidating. This geyser has been erupting for thousands of years, yet people still find the process fascinating and enjoy watching the powerful jet of water shoot skyward. This cameraman seems to have no sense of self-preservation, risking filming a bubbling geyser so closely. But since we can see the footage, luck was clearly on his side this time. This is not an intricately carved opal frog. It's alive and incredibly beautiful. However, as nature teaches us, it's best not to touch such creatures with bare hands unless you're certain of their safety. Not everyone gets the chance to observe a herd of manatees up close, but today, this couple was definitely fortunate.
Woohoo! Think you spooked in there a little bit.
When visiting natural landmarks near mountains, be prepared for the unexpected appearance of another waterfall made of snow and ice from a nearby avalanche. Such a sight is indeed impressive, but it doesn't make it any less dangerous. The formation of these picturesque streams was caused by heavy rainfall in the mountains. Over time, these small waterfalls will dry up and the slope will return to its original state, but for now, this place is quite beautiful. This snake's behavior is nothing short of mysterious. This is a literal example of how an exhaust system works, as hot air from the stove escapes through a nearby vent without filling the small kitchen with smoke. Not all volcanoes emit ash clouds, smoke, and lava during eruptions. Sometimes they erupt with mud. Still, its composition isn't much different from a regular volcano's contents. This stunning natural pool with crystal clear water was discovered in one of the driest places on Earth. Just look at it. It's so deep, it's almost unbelievable. Phenomena like this are quite rare. When water molecules in the air accumulate enough static electricity, they become visible, and hair literally stands on end. This crystal cave is a true natural treasure. It's almost incredible that such a magical place exists on our planet. This tree was struck directly by lightning, causing it to burn from the inside. While the tree's location doesn't pose a fire hazard, the problem should still be addressed.
It gotcha!
These fawns startle the cameraman with their optical illusion. At first glance, it looks like there's only one animal, but with two heads. Orcas inhabiting the ocean can adapt to almost any body of water. They easily tolerate both warm and icy conditions, so it shouldn't be surprising to encounter these marine mammals outside the polar circle. Do you think water can't burn? Think again, these clips prove otherwise. The reason for this phenomenon lies in the abundance of combustible impurities which allow the flames to persist even in water. No, you're not imagining it. The water in this spring is indeed pink. The unusual color is due to the abundant plankton in the reservoir, which is the source of the hue. While it looks fascinating, it's best not to touch the water. Here's what happens when rain clouds gather water in places filled with worms. The sight is certainly eerie, but it's fascinating to ponder how these creatures manage to survive a flight in a cloud. It's curious to think how many days this scooter had to remain untouched for wasps to build such a massive nest on it. At a great depth near the territorial waters of Chile, researchers discovered this incredibly beautiful marine worm using deep-sea exploration equipment. It makes you wonder what other creatures might inhabit such depths. The visitors of this venue probably didn't expect an earthquake to catch them in such a place. Although they were safe here, seeing the power of seismic tremors ripple across the water surface was certainly unsettling. While the northern lights aren't a particularly rare phenomenon, this specific display was extraordinary. It seems that the Earth's electromagnetic field was unusually active that day. Unfortunately, even the sun can't boast of perfect weather every day, as solar storms occur quite frequently. These phenomena are clearly visible even to the naked eye, but are far more massive than people can imagine. Moreover, solar storms can have detrimental effects on Earth, causing natural disasters. The eruption of methane from the Earth's depths in a desert caused the appearance of a sandy geyser. The sight was indeed unusual, but it's best not to get too close. On the shores of the Dead Sea, you can often find white pearls, which are actually salt crystals. This is the only place on Earth where you can find such treasures. These tiny white things look like mollusk or fish eggs, but only the woman who found them could give a more accurate answer. Setting cotton fluff on fire is one of children's favorite early summer pastimes. But if you're showing this trick to kids, don't forget to mention that such fun can lead to a fire. Be cautious about what's lying among the fluff. What an unusual spot these men discovered, a hollow tree with a stunning view from inside. If you think this is just a spider and a worm, you're only half right. It's indeed them, just bigger than usual. Welcome to Australia, where tarantulas can easily enjoy a snake for lunch. If you know how to read clouds, you can easily predict the weather from them. For instance, these cloud masses signal a heavy downpour approaching the mountains, so climbers and tourists should hurry to find shelter. The setting sun on this beach has a very unusual color. It's intriguing to wonder what could have caused such a stunning sunset. With the help of NASA's powerful telescopes, scientists got a detailed view of Jupiter's surface. Do you see that unusual pattern? It's actually massive storms raging on the planet, whose power is terrifying to imagine. A lightning strike ignited a tree from within. Look at the crack in the bark. It looks like a gateway to the fiery depths of hell. Despite the danger, it's impossible not to admire the phenomenon's remarkable beauty. Sometimes, cumulus clouds take on rather ominous shapes, but the only real threat they pose is a prolonged downpour.
2024.
How clean must the water be to make it look like the fish are swimming in the air? These deer clearly weren't shy about growing their antlers, or perhaps they just couldn't decide on their shape for a long time. This is what happens when cigarette butts are thrown into the sea. Little crab, don't touch it, you've got your whole life ahead of you. It's fascinating to think about what that strange celestial object emitting a blue glow could have been. Its flight path was far too unusual for a comet.
That's unreal, eh?
What you see on these fields isn't the result of children's creativity, but actual cloud masses. How and why they ended up on the ground is a good question. This cloud could look rather intimidating, but the rays of the setting sun transformed it into something beautiful. The wonders happening in distant space are impossible to see with the naked eye, but through a powerful telescope, one can witness grand events. For example, this distant nebula displayed a stunning light show observed by only a handful of scientists who've been studying it for decades. Faced with disaster, spiders found their own way to survive. They created a massive, lightweight web that comfortably accommodates thousands of their kind, preparing for the next flood. Oh, how unlucky this driver was to find himself on a dune about to collapse under a pile of sand. Let's hope he has the strength to clean all the vehicle's parts after digging out. Underwater creatures can be truly astonishing, like these eels growing from the seabed. They gather like this to feed and find mates. Thanks to lightning rods, some people can boast videos like this online. Credit where it's due, the cameraman picked a perfect moment to shoot. At first glance, it's just an ordinary puddle, but it becomes much more intriguing if you take a closer look. This fascinating phenomenon, resembling the boiling of underwater sand, makes you wonder about its origin, doesn't it? The fire rising from a crack in the concrete may well be the result of electrical wiring catching fire. Upon noticing such a phenomenon, it would be wise to call the fire department first before recording a video. It's curious whether the tornado dirtied or cleaned this car more. There is something truly grand and mesmerizing about underwater volcanic eruptions. However, the obvious danger of such phenomena remains undeniable. Even hermit crabs go on dates. Not very often, of course, but with enviable regularity and always resulting in offspring. Static electricity can turn anyone into an adorable dandelion. While this phenomenon is harmless, it can cause some discomfort, especially on bare skin. Don't worry, the ocean isn't boiling. It's just a school of fish near the shore desperately trying to find their way back into the ocean. The fishermen likely had an extraordinary catch that day. When a forest fire meets strong winds, fire whirls can occur, as seen in this video. Although such phenomena are usually short-lived, they can cause real disasters. Luckily, everything turned out fine this time, making these shots truly priceless. And that's all from me. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon. Your engagement is the best reward for me. Thank you for watching and see you soon. Bye.